Hi everyone. Let me take you through the journey of a data driven framework for measuring and improving the security postures. So here we have an agenda. We are going to discuss about our introduction, then problem statement, category feeding, service level scoring method, aggregating all the scores together, key benefit and learning and summary. So who we are? I am Saurabh Kumar Pandey, Senior Security Engineer at MIQ Digital. We have a Harish, who is a Principal Security Specialist at MIQ Digital. So here is the problem statement. Like every organization, to protect entire environment, they integrate the security tool, multiple security tool, and each tool have a different way to define the severity of the bug. So it can be based upon the severity count. It can be critical, high, low, but their counting framework can be different. So for this, like if you are integrated multiple tool, there will be the inconsistency risk view. There will be the challenge, like you will face a problem of benchmark each and every services or the team. So each services can have a multiple bug and all those bug can be reported by multiple tool. So there will be no dashboard, no aggregated score for your team who have solved how many problem within a year, but also there will be the no accountability and the automation readiness. So here we have solved this problem with the framework that we have designed and we have implemented and we have received the better outcome. For this, we have a Haris who will take you into this journey and deep dive into the problem statement.
Hey everyone, my name is Harish. I'll go walk you through this security score framework. Basically, before we start, just wanted to define like what are the feeds we are collecting for aggregating the scores. So first one is like we have multiple vulnerability assessment tools. So we are collecting the data source from the vulnerability assessment. Similarly, we have web application scanners which are running on our applications. Containers are image scans we are running, and dependency scannings, static code analyzers, secret detectors, and cloud security scanners. Along with that, AP security assessment. So it's the multiple tools which we are running. From there, we are collecting all the data source. Since we are getting this uh, data from multiple tools, each tool will have a different set of categorization and way to represent the security findings. So in order to normalize the security findings, we are coming with the scaling factors. So what we have done is like we have taken a scaling factor from 0 to 1 to normalize all the tool security findings. And 0 means no risk, 1 means like highest risk. So any scores, irrespective of whether the count, will be normalized from the 0 to 1, based on the criticality and severity also. So higher the scores, higher the greater the risk. So in this way we are normalizing the our scores to scale from 0 to 1. So once we have two approaches when we are with respect to toolings, right? So basically, if some tools are representing the vulnerabilities in critical, high, medium, will come under severity based method. Which some tools will only represent the number of count. For example, if any secrets are detected, it will represent as a count. So that category will come under aggregate count method. So in aggregate count method, how we are defining is we are taking that count of that findings. The formula what we have defined is 1 minus 1 of exponential of count divided by steps into public. What it means is, so we are exponentially penalizing the vulnerabilities where the count is nothing but number of issues detected. Steps are number of scaling factors which we are taking. It can be adjusted based on the priority and criticality of the tool. For example, if the it's critical, then the scaling factor will be lesser. If the it's a low issue, so it will the scaling factor will be higher. So and we are considering whether that particular vulnerability is exposed to the public or not. Similarly, for severity based method, so that tools will represent the findings in critical, high, medium, low. Critical, uh, or high, the formula will remain same. However, the number of the steps will differ. I'll just explain that how the steps are calculated. So this is how it works. So we have two things. One is weightage and another thing steps. Critical is something that, like, we have a less number of steps, then easily that the scales will increase. The more the number of vulnerabilities, the easy it can reach one that is higher risk kind of. So that steps will increase based on the severity. For example, if it is a lower, then the steps will be higher kind of. So overall the service we are calculating based on total scores of each tool into the total weighted average of the severity. That's how we calculate for each particular tool service count. So once we do that one, like, we have the weightage for each category. For example, vulnerability assessment, we have taken that weight of 15 percentage. For dash and sas, we have taken 25 percentage. For dependency scanning, we have taken 25 percentage. Similarly, multiple categories we have defined, and we have, based on the risk appetite, we have taken the weightage. Now, there are two ways to scoring methods are there. So before we go, I will just walk you through to the live calculator, so that it can be. Uh, Let me go through this live calculator. So if you can see this live calculator, so what we have done is, like, have the calculator where you can see that some tools will have the critical high, medium, low kind of, it will represented. Some will have that only count will be represented. So if we have that critical this one, so basically based on that, for example, if it is 10, so the scores, the scoring will be calculated, and based on that one, gradings will be calculated. So similarly, this will exponentially increase if the numbers are this one, numbers will increase kind of. So similarly, like, we'll calculate for each tool, and aggregate of this particular all these tools will be captured, and percentage will be derived for each team, and that will be represented for each team or services. Okay. This is the sample reports we will get this one. So basically, when once the in a CI/CD pipeline, when we run this one, so it will capture all the data points, and it will represent each team by the services, and based on the multiple data feeds, we'll calculate based on the tools and services the grades, and we are aggregating these grades to represent the overall team scores. Coming back to this one, so once the service grades are calculated, so we will have this scoring methodology. So there are two ways. So each team has will be having multiple services, so we'll be calculating the sum of all the services divided by number of services. Similarly, for the organization, we are calculating all the scores of each team, and have the weightage, and we are dividing by the team's weight. Okay, key benefits are, like, one is standardization, like one risk metrics across all the security tools, so that we can normalize. Second is prioritization, based on the priority and based on the risk appetite, like, we can put a weightage on that, so that we can focus more on that particular risk. Transparency will be there. There will be clear rationales of scanning and encouraging the ownership and accountability. Finally, the automation, where the scores can be computed and programmatically inherited in the pipelines, and for any of the security tools kind of. So what did we learn, right? So one is consistency risk management. So replacing the scattered tools. So basically, we have multiple tools, and outputs are in a different form. So we wanted to standardize the risk scores. Second one is the quantitative scoring. So basically, if the risk are depending on number of multiple factors, we are considering weightage and severity, along with that number of count also. Quantitative scorings will be done, so that the more the number of count, the exponentially that will reflects on the gradings. Weighted average, based on the like, we have calculated from the service to the team set to the company, so that it will give the meaningful weightage to that teams, or the company wise we can have that weighted one. Finally, the automation readiness. So it is designed for getting a live risk dashboards, where we can see the risk postures for multiple tools in a single dashboard kind of. This is the key benefits or the learnings which we got from this particular implementing this framework. Thank you all.